IMF conditions. And the Malawi Revenue Authority says tax stamps are bearing fruit. Stick around for a full package of business and economic stories. We start the program with a story that the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs says government is working tirelessly on both the fiscal and monetary policies to stabilize the economy in line with International Monetary Fund IMF conditions. Well, Secretary of the Treasury, Bechani Chereni, was responding to questions as to how much Lilongwe is doing to be on course with IMF conditions. Chereni speaks to Simeon Shumba of Business Digest.
We are performing well. Of course, it's a mixed bag. I was told that I was one of the best students in my class, but I was not scoring 100%. That tells you that students who score 100% are very, very, very rare. You know, the A-star type kind of students. We are like a student. It's not like we are going to score 100%. But the question is, are we doing okay with some of the variables? Because there are quantitative variables and also qualitative areas. Are we doing okay in there? Are we able to tick the boxes? And the answer is yes, we're able to tick the boxes positively in some of those, although in some of the areas there's also a lag or a delay, but I think we are performing. When we say ECF, you can give it a name of any sort that you can give, but at the end of the day, it's about the management of the economy. Whether you call it ECF or whatever name you give to it, it's about what are you doing with expenditure, what are you doing with the revenues, what are you doing with that. So, for example, we have decided that, you know what, we need to raise more revenues. What should we do? Let's bring some bills to Parliament that are going to look at the areas where we can coop some more revenues without milking some more already, the thin cow already. And we have also said that let's go into non-tax revenues. We'll be able to comb some revenues from there. So in that area, or in that regard, we are beginning to pick up. And if you're picking up in that area, it means that in terms of our expenditure as well, we are also going to be picking up as well. We're going to be performing well in that area. So when you talk about a tranche, for example, how much money are we talking about? Come on, good people, let's be realistic here. Let's manage the economy in the way that it is going to be better, regardless of whatever name you can give to a program. But let's manage the economy to be better from the monetary side and also from the other side. Social spending, we are overperforming in social spending. We are also performing quite well in broad money growth, for example, within the Reserve Bank. Qualitatively, we are also performing well in a number of factors and variables. But we also need to negotiate some of the assumptions that we had, because some realism needs to come here to come in here. So we still need to negotiate some of those areas and see how best we can move forward.
Meanwhile, the Secretary of the Treasury has expressed optimism that the economy will continue to recover on the back of agreements Lilongwe has signed with mining companies set to run their mining operations in the country.
We have been able to sign mining development agreements for the first time. This has not happened in the history of Malawi. So we've got about 2 that are already on the ground. They have started to work. And we've got also 2 that have said we're not going to use the mining development agreements. We are going to be on the ground using the law as it is. So having 4 big mining companies operating in Malawi, it means that by the end of next year, we should begin to see a lot of foreign exchange coming to the country. Because one company, for example, will be able to provide us with somewhere around 500 million US dollars per annum. One company. So if one company can do that, suppose that's the average, and you've got 4 companies, that's 2 billion US dollars per annum. From Tobago, we are able to get about 300, 400, million US dollars, and that's our capacity. Now, just imagine you are increasing that capacity 5-fold. That should give you a lot of hope that this economy is going to go somewhere. A lot of people have now applied to be part of the mega farm unit within the Ministry of Agriculture. That application alone is giving us a lot of hope, because what is likely to happen is that we are going to produce a lot of food, a lot of maize, and then even also cash crops, because some people are also going into macadamia, the legumes and everything. So that alone is something that should give us a lot of hope. Fishing industry is picking up. This is one area which people don't want to discuss, but it's true. Fishing industry, it is rising up. Many people have done dams and everything of that sort. And I have, for example, I know about 6 would have been SMEs, but I don't think they are no longer going to be SMEs. They have brought in machines in Malawi. They're going to squeeze cooking oil. They're going to manufacture, or they're going to add value to our maize to produce cornflakes, to produce maize flour. I also know of guys who are going to be polishing our own rice in this country. When you look at this should give us hope that the economy is going to pick up. Remember, there's always a time lag in how economic fundamentals are going to respond to some triggers. So you trigger that in the economy today, you don't expect the same to happen today. You expect that at the appointed time, things are going to begin to happen. So we're expecting, for example, the mining industry, the commercial agriculture industry, and then the projects that are also being earmarked within the tourism sector, when they pick up the manufacturing industry as well, this economy will not be the same.
The Malawi Revenue Authority, MRA, has urged businesses whose products do not have tax stamps to inform the authority and receive free tax stamps. MRA tax education specialist Wadza Ottomani said in an interview with Business Digest. He explains.
We started implementing tax stamps back in 2011, but it was restricted to cigarettes. But now we have extended the application of these tax stamps to other exercisable products like bottled water, alcoholic beverages, even carbonated soft drinks. So far, the response has been positive. Companies have complied. They are affixing tax stamps on their products. Some importers have also complied. They are affixing tax stamps on their products. If you go on the market, you see products with tax stamps. This is a sign of compliance, and we would like to encourage this. However, there are some issues which we need to sort out. For instance, importers, they raise some issues. You might find some products maybe on the market which do not have tax stamps, but we are doing everything we can as MRA to make sure that products on the market which are supposed to have tax stamps, they have tax stamps. So far so good. Compliance is very good, and the future looks very good as far as the implementation of this project is concerned. We indeed had 2 phases of the implementation of this project. The first phase started in May and ended in June. The second phase started in July, and it's ending on 30th September. Our expectation is that all products on the market which are supposed to have excise tax stamps should have excise tax stamps. We are appealing to manufacturers and importers to make sure that the products which are sending on the market have excise tax stamps. We asked importers, we asked manufacturers to do a reconciliation of the products which they have in their stock to make sure that all products have tax stamps. But there could be a situation where there may not be products with tax stamps, and we're asking the importers, we're asking the manufacturers to do a reconciliation to tell us how many products have tax stamps, how many products do not have tax stamps. And as an authority, as MRA, we will provide free tax stamps to all importers, all manufacturers, to make sure that the products which will be found on the market from 30th or from 1st October going forward, we should make sure that all products which are on the market have tax stamps. So it is our appeal to manufacturers, importers, to provide us with that data so that we should be able to provide all tax stamps which they need. Our main responsibility as MRA is to assist taxpayers to comply, and that's why we're coming forward to tell them that come 1st October, they should make sure that all products which they are manufacturing, all products which they are importing, they should have tax stamps.
Small and medium-scale businesses run by youths and women will now have a fair share of access to finance in the country, as National Bank of Malawi has entered into a 5-year loan portfolio cover partnership with the African Guarantee Fund, AGF. AGF is a Pan-African guarantee provider that promotes economic development by providing financial institutions with partial credit guarantees and capacity development programs specifically intended to support small and medium-sized enterprises in Africa. Now, the signing ceremony was held in Nairobi, Kenya, officiated by AGF Group Chief Executive Officer Jules Ngakama and NBM PLC Chief Executive Officer CEO Harold Jia. AGF Group Executive Officer Ngakama explains.
We are the leading guarantee fund in Africa, partnering with the largest bank in Malawi. This is what we really want for the continent, having this type of relationship. We've always been talking about the South-South relationship or partnership between two institutions in Africa. And this is something that we are very proud of, and we want to develop more and more this type of partnership. When we were discussing earlier, we discussed about your strategy, the NBM strategy to become a regional bank, because for now you are mainly focused in Malawi, but you are planning to open branches in different countries in the region. We'll be very happy to be part of that journey. So we are signing a facility today of 2.5 billion Malawian kwacha for a duration of 5 years. This guarantee will kind of enable the bank to scale up its lending activity to the SME, including the women-owned and led SME, the youth-owned and led SME, and the green SME in various sectors in Malawi. So we are particularly proud of having this big opportunity to contribute to two of the major programs that you are running. So the first program is the program that you call Amai Angate. I hope that I'm pronouncing it well. Amai Angate, which means women can do it, and at AGF we believe the same. We share the same culture, we share the same value. The second program is the program you call Set Up Entrepreneur, which is a program to support the youth entrepreneurship in Malawi.
And now let's hear from NBM PLC Chief Executive Officer Harold Jia.
Today, this agreement represents a big opportunity, not only for National Bank, but for many small and medium enterprises, SMEs in Malawi, that will benefit greatly from this initiative. SMEs are recognized as crucial drivers of economic growth, job creation, and innovation across the continent. However, access to financing has been one of the major challenges limiting their potential. So this 5-year loan portfolio guarantee agreement with AGF is aimed at addressing this challenge. This partnership will allow us to scale up our lending activities to various micro, small, and medium enterprises, including startups, women-led businesses, and enterprises engaged in green and sustainable initiative. It will also provide the much-needed financial backing to businesses that are crucial to the economic development of Malawi and the broader economic continent.
You're watching Business Digest with me, Arthur Chokoto. Stick around for more. A business and economics media guru, Frank Phiri, has tipped business journalists to advance their reporting skills to match the global economic trends. Phiri, who has worked with various media institutions, both local and international, told Business Digest that as the world is fast changing on various factors, including on global economy, it is imperative for business journalists to be well-versed on matters of regional and global economic trends.
Right now, the country's economy is going through problems, and when there are challenges, opportunities also present. And what I was saying is journalists need to learn specialized fields of the economy in order to grasp to be in a position to report in specialized fields. So, for example, in response to the current situation, the government has got an ATM strategy in place. They are looking at what they can do to diversify from agriculture, and then also looking at tourism, looking at mining, and looking at manufacturing. These are specific sectors that business journalists need to acquire specialized knowledge in order for them to effectively report on what is happening. There is an improvement, but there are also a number of gaps. An improvement when we look at the quality of what is being reported, you find that there are quite a number of gaps that need to be addressed. If you look at the quantity, there is wider coverage, there is greater mileage that is being provided because of the expansion of media formats. So in the past we were restricted to maybe 1 or 2 radio stations and 2 newspapers. Apart from that, in addition to them, we now have online channels. We have digital media. People are able to report on websites. There's social media, which has Facebook, Instagram, and we also have LinkedIn. We now have X, formerly Twitter. We've seen a number of creative journalists creating platforms aligning to these formats. So there's proliferation, there's growth, and we've also seen the growth of radio in form of expansion and licensing of as many community radio stations. I think there are over 100 licensed community radio stations, also a few additional television stations, and these are in addition to the mainstream TVs that we have, like NBC, Times, and Zodiac. So in terms of quantity, there is variety. Now, in terms of quality, that's where a lot of gaps exist, and that is what ABJ, in collaboration with its partners, need to work on.
The chairperson of Westnet, Panganani Njolomole, says investment in water and sanitation has the potential to drive Malawi economic development over the next 2 decades. Now, according to Njolomole, expanding access to wash services is not only a moral responsibility, but also a strategic economic investment that will help Malawi recover from recent economic shocks. He speaks to Maim Tumodzi of Business Digest.
Yeah, actually, as a country, we cannot achieve the good wash services without us all working together. So as a sector, we are ensuring that everyone, that all partners that are implementing WASH are coming together to achieve the SDG 6 and also the Vision 2063. So what we are doing as a sector is bringing all the academia, the government, and also the all WASH NGOs that are implementing WASH in Malawi, so that we together identify the issues and challenges that we are facing, so that we address the issues that are hindering people in the communities in accessing safe water.
The Institute of People Management Malawi, IPMM, says Malawi is not fast enough to embrace new technologies that have affected the human resource sector. Hence, they are focused to tackle contemporary human resource strategies at its annual general meeting, slated for 24 to 26 October 2024 in Mangochi. Now, the AGM will be held under the theme Navigating the New World of Work, Empowering People, Embracing Change, and Fostering Resilience in a Rapidly Evolving and Turbulent Economic Environment. IPMM Executive Director Willen Koma was speaking in Blantyre when receiving a 1 million kwacha donation from CDH Investment Bank towards the AGM.
Biggest effect is that we are not fast enough to adjust to the changes in technology, and that's one of our roles as an institute, to ensure that we prepare our human capital managers as well as employees into the new technologies that are coming up. Basically, the issues are to do with the new world of work. Times have changed, so I'd like the HR professionals to embrace the change, to empower their employees, but also to accept that the economic environment is now turbulent, and that strategies, HR strategies, must actually align with the changing economic environment. Quite a number of contributions. HR practitioners now, some of them are chief executive officers in organizations, both private and the public. organizations need HR practitioners, and the Institute of People Management has been sharpening the skills and competences of these human capital managers. So our contribution has been huge, but also with the coming of the 2063 Malawi strategy, we are aligned to the strategy to ensure that Malawi achieves its goals and objectives. Quite a number of contributions. HR practitioners now are, some of them are chief executive officers in the organizations, both private and the public. Organizations need HR practitioners, and the Institute of People Management has been sharpening the skills and competences of these human capital managers. So our contribution has been huge, but also with the coming of the 2063 Malawi strategy, we are aligned to the strategy to ensure that Malawi achieves its goals and objectives.
Human Capital Development Manager for CDH Investment Bank, Tiezie Matandika, says the core resource of any organization is its people. Therefore, leaders need to ensure that there are strategies in place that drive the development of employees.
And as leaders, they need to come up with strategies that will help in development of employees, that will empower employees, as well as help them to change and evolve for the development of their organizations as well as the economy of Malawi. It is very important because it helps all people managers in Malawi to sit down and come up with strategies that help in the development of the people in the various organizations. As you know, people are the core resources for any organization. So if you take care of the people space, it means everything else will come into place. So it is important for CDH Investment Bank to partner with Institute of People Managers for this conference.
Well, CDH Investment Bank has further shown its interest towards human capital development by contributing to the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament, which will take place over the weekend. Now, CDH Investment Bank has contributed 5 million kwacha towards the cause. Now, according to Presidential Charity Golf Initiative Organizing Committee member Michael Komani, they have targeted to raise 600 million kwacha to support needy public investor students and help Cyclone Freddy survivors to get back to their businesses.
As we speak right now, we have so far fundraised 80%, if not 85%, of our target amount, which is 600 million. The intention is to continue with these two areas of focus, which is to assist the needy students in our public universities. Last year, we assisted 6 universities, and half of the other of the total amount that was collected, around 450 million, half of it went towards the rehabilitation of some institutions that were hit by Cyclone Freddy, including Mbata Primary School in Lower Shire. So because the needs are continuous for our public university students, as you are already aware, it's been felt that we should continue in this area, as well as the infrastructure down Lower Shire and any other areas really that could be identified, so that the assistance is much more structured and it's much more effective at this point. So currently the intention is to continue with those two areas of focus.
And lastly, we look at how music festival can boost economic development. Now, to help us answer this question, here is Managing Director of Chitoliro Production, Ken Zizwa, the organizers of the Urban Music Festival slated for Cape Maclear in Mangochi from 25 to 28 October 2024. Zizwa told journalists at the side of the event that the festival will create various business opportunities for people in Mangochi and beyond.
Yeah, the EMP Festival is creating a lot of business opportunities and adding value in various sectors. So we can consider this at different levels. At community level here in Cape Maclear, the impact is already visible and will be more visible even during the actual festival days. So for example, we do have local artisans or constructors, like all these sites. We're using local resources, so they're on payroll and they're getting some employment opportunities. Secondly, we do have all these lodges. So what we did, we block booked like majority of the accommodation spaces here in Cape Maclear, and also there's a lot of interest that has been created because of UNP Festival. Even before the festival dates, we've started promoting Cape Maclear. We've seen people coming just to check the venue because it's Cape Maclear. They want to see the festival place. Secondly, on the national level, we do see Malawi has been promoted because of UNP Festival. We're calling it International Chitorio UNP Festival. We do have a lot of visitors that are coming, both creatives, but also just festival goers. And a lot of people have been asking about Malawi. What is Malawi? What is the business opportunities? And travel has been arranged. A lot of people have been asking, how can we travel to Malawi? Which airport can we go to? Mangochi, is it Blantyre, Lilongwe? So transport options have been consumed because of UNP Festival. And regionally, because as you can see, most of the artists coming from SADC region. So we've seen increased focus on SADC region as a block, as a whole, because one of the objectives that we're trying to do is to promote regional integration. And we've seen people from America, from Europe, from other parts of Africa getting interest into SADC as a whole. So some will come to Malawi, but after Malawi they'll go to Zambia, they'll go to Zimbabwe. So the benefit even expands outside of Malawi, which is great, because we do have a reciprocal relationship with our neighbors in Zambia or Zimbabwe in terms of tourism, arts and culture. So there are so many ways that we are contributing, and we'll do a proper quantitative analysis after the festival is over.
And now let's take a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against other foreign currencies. Today's inspirational quote, we are saying, a stitch in time saves 9. We've been hearing these from maybe our childhood, and we know what it means. Common sense, although it's not common, but well, we all have that. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Business Digest. From me, Arthur Chokoto, thanks for watching. Think business, develop yourself, and develop the country. Keep watching MBC TV.